Star Citizen. I don't know if you ever wanted to fly it into the furthest regions of space, find an abandoned space station out there, see if you can get on board, rescue any crew, you dock in there, you break your way in, you find once you've gone into the belly of the space station that there's an alien life form there, kind of Lost in Space Event Horizon style. You run back to your ship, fending it off with your assault rifle. You get back onto your fighter, and then you fly back out of there, destroy the space station with a couple of missiles, and then head down onto the planet which the space station has appeared next to. Land in a lush green forest, seamlessly of course, all the way through the atmosphere right down there. Find yourself a few Ewoks, to capture and take home, because you got a cargo container on board, and well, your wife likes that kind of thing. Then you take off, rising up through the jungle and the clouds, straight into a dogfight, just as you were about to get into space, with a bandit pilot who thinks that he can take your Ewok cargo. You're having none of that, so you stick on your reverse thrusters, you flip around behind him, you take him out with a turret you mounted underneath your custom spaceship that you've got to look after, because if it breaks, you've got to buy insurance for that thing, as you would have to do in real life. That is Star Citizen, and as you can see here from this animation, the immersion in this game is just going to be absolutely ridiculous, and that's why I spent nearly $200 odd on buying this Super Hornet here, which you see in a limited edition ship I bought back in October, which you can't get anymore in the game. It's the only two-seater Hornet. It's a converted military fighter, but this is literally the coolest thing I've ever bought in a game. And Star Citizen is entirely crowdfunded, so there's no idiot publisher trying to take a huge cut of the money. All the 34 million raised so far is going into the game, and I think it's just going to be, just look at the detail in this cockpit. It's literally like the coolest space game I've ever seen. And these animations, there's nothing that breaks it. Like in Battlefield, you get into a thing and it just swoops you straight into a vehicle. This, you have to climb into everything, and there's just an animation for absolutely everything. I'm getting into the back seat here, which is the one that the gunner goes on. I wanted a two-seater craft, even though I got the Tracker Hornet down the end, I'll show you in a second, which is a one-seater version of this, because I wanted to, if I fly anywhere, I might want to pick somebody up and take them back with me. And obviously if I've got a single-seat fighter, I can't really do sort of rescue missions like that. Just the attention to detail with this is absolutely stunning. And you should watch the trailer for this, by the way. It will give you tingles. I've linked it in the description. The Hornet trailer, it's just the coolest thing. If you're wondering about the intake fans, by the way, they're not for oxygen, because obviously space doesn't have any oxygen in it. They are supposedly for hydrogen that floats about in space. So that's what they're intaking, because for some reason the engine uses this. And this is why I wanted to get the Super Hornet to fly as my main ship rather than any of the others, because it supposedly got like a warp gate drive on the back. Like the engine is a lot bigger than the one on the Tracker Hornet over there, and you could go through like jump gates with the engine on this. So it's kind of designed a bit for sort of deeper space rescue missions. I'm just going to switch over my clothes here and show you the holotable. This is how you customize the ships. So wherever you docked this, and presumably you'll be able to fly all over the place and land and dock wherever you wanted to, and then customize which parts of the ship you want. And obviously you can take different guns off one thing and then different weapons off another. You can basically have the ship looking however you want, and you can do custom paint jobs and stuff of it as well, I believe. So you can basically make it look however. I actually kind of look like the color scheme that's on the Super Hornet at the moment, because it reminds me a lot of X-Wings from Star Wars, the way it looks. Maybe if I put a little bit more red on it, perhaps like Luke Skywalker's. But this is the Tracker Hornet, which is kind of the baby cousin of the Super Hornet across there. This is only a single-seater, but as you can see, the middle area has been customized with like a massive radar unit that basically scans out and tracks for things like minerals, life forms on planets, and if you were investigating a space station, whether or not there's anybody alive on there. It also scans for other ships as well, but in scanning for things, it does put you up on the radar of other fighters as well. So it's good to have the extra range that the Tracker Hornet actually has. It's got a bit of a weaker engine. I don't believe you can go through warp gates with that thing compared to the Super Hornet, but it's sort of a tactical fighter to have as part of a fleet, this one. But I tell you, I can't wait to just kit out my Super Hornet with like a massive turret in the center of it, and getting a friend as a secondary gunner, and just go down and chase some bandit ships who've been attacking some freelancers or something like that. I think it's going to be such a good game with so much freedom as well. And I like games like that, which is why I like DayZ. You can basically do what you want and make your own story out of the game. I think it's going to be, well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave the video here because I've got another one put up later on today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next chapter.